Yeah, for Wendy's, it's a critical part of our business. We need to make sure that we are creating relationships with our consumers, and we can do that through the power of storytelling. We need to be out there every single day, engaging with these consumers and making sure that we're driving the right messages of how to bring Wendy's to life. We have to make that entertaining. We have to make that engaging. We have to understand how we can integrate into our consumers' lives, not just to deliver a Wendy's message, but to develop a relationship. We want to be partners with consumers out there. And we can do that through the lens of storytelling. I think it's critical that brands as Wendy's, we have defined who we are as a personality, what we stand for, how we want to show up out in the world. The key component is making sure that we have some good partners who are able to work with us in order to deliver those messages in the right capacity. A lot of great agency partners that are continuing to figure out and evolve and understand that personality of Wendy's, and then working with the right people to bring those stories to life through key passions, through key interests, through the key ways that consumers want to consume media, they want to engage with their friends, which again is essentially what we're trying to do, is create that relationship and do it through the stories we're telling and engaging with our consumers.
And Jimmy, just run down for us some of those activations with some big events and some big media partners. Give us some examples.
Yeah, we love the passion of March Madness. We're the official hamburger. We're the official breakfast of March Madness. That has been a big opportunity for us to get out into the world. We've extended that into the official breakfast and the official hamburger of NCAA college football. So hopefully you guys have seen all of the great college football work that we've done out in the world. Our partners at Fox, our relationship with Big Noon Kickoff. It's talent that can come in and be ambassadors for our brand, but allows us to integrate specific messages, i.e. waking up with breakfast as you're tailgating for college football. What does that look like? How do we show up to incorporate Wendy's into the big rivalries that are going to be happening? We're just as excited as fans are to show up to see the big game. We want to celebrate with the official breakfast. We then want to make sure that through delivery, the official hamburger is getting ordered and you're using that in order to use while you're watching the game. All of these messages can come to life through the stories and all of the pieces that we're telling through a passion like college football. Additionally, on the entertainment side, a partnership like Rick and Morty has done so much for us. It's such a passionate fan base. It is fans who are looking for more extensions. They want to hear more about Rick and Morty. They want to see more of how that can extend into their lives. We've definitely prioritized how do we really respect that fan base and find ways to not disrupt that experience, but to really enhance it and engage it and add some additional considerations for how the Rick and Morty franchise comes to life through the lens of Wendy's as a fan, as a participant, as a bigger part of that story that Warner, that Adult Swim, that the Rick and Morty team is trying to tell. So we're always making sure that we are respecting that story, that different equity is borrowed, but using that in order to make sure that we can tell the Wendy's story through it and engage that fan base, get them excited, use it as building blocks to continue telling that story throughout the year, use what we're doing in college football to extend into March Madness, to set up what we're going to be doing for college football. All of these stories are connected. They are all setting up the power of it. Can't wait to see what's next from the Wendy's team. How are they continuing to bring this entertainment, this engagement to everything that they're doing out there?
Now, Jimmy, reaching fans is interesting, and reaching your target audience has changed in terms of media investment and the tools at hand around audience targeting and also contextual, which just meant sort of buying an adjacency, but it means a lot more now. What's exciting for you in terms of the tools you have at hand to reach the audiences you want?
Data continues to be the driving force to say, are we understanding who we can reach with specific audiences that are out there? How do we make sure that this is driving forward the Wendy's business? I think our partners have really stepped up in identifying and making sure that we understand the power and the value of these audiences, closely aligning with our agencies in order to make sure that we're thinking about that the right way. I think the beauty of the Wendy's approach is there are so many different channels and so many different platforms that we know that consumers and fans are engaging this content across a variety of different perspectives. So how do we make sure that we're leveraging not just what's happening on television, we're leveraging every single channel that's at our disposal, that's at a partner's disposal, making sure that we're maximizing that. We have multiple touch points, we have multiple opportunities to engage and make sure that every single incorporation is as effective as possible. Thinking through what that plan looks like, thinking through how do we leverage each of those specific touch points as powerfully as possible. There might be different shades of messaging that's incorporated. It might be different aspects of priorities from a Wendy's business perspective, but we're always using those to make sure that we can effectively deliver a true integration into whatever the campaign, whatever the partnership, whatever that story looks like. We're making sure that all of those touch points are really taken into consideration to get the most out of how we are building these plans with our partners.